I'm going to call this meeting to order, and thank you very much. And we're going from, I need to move in a second or to move into closed session. Councilor Quinte and Councilor Boyce. All in favor? Otherwise, stay here. Thank you. Come on, we're going. We will be back shortly.
You're on, sir. Jim, you're on.
Okay, I'm asking you to stand for the Indigenous acknowledgement statement, and then we'll have the national anthem, and you may sit down after that. Thank you very much.
We begin this meeting by acknowledging that Quinte West is on Indigenous land that has been inhabited by Indigenous peoples from the beginning. We thank all the generations of people who have taken care of this land for thousands of years. Long before today, there have been Indigenous peoples who have been the stewards of this place. In particular, we acknowledge the traditional territories of the Anishinaabeg, Huron-Wendat, Haudenosaunee, and the Mohawks of the Bay of Quinte First Nation. This territory is covered by numerous treaties. We recognize and deeply appreciate their historic connection to this place. We also recognize the contribution of the Métis, Inuit, and other Indigenous peoples have made, both in shaping and strengthening this community in particular, and our province and country as a whole. This acknowledgement serves as recognition of the contributions and historical significance of Indigenous peoples across Turtle Island and demonstrates our collective commitment to meet the promises and address the challenges of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission within our community.
This afternoon, the evening's close. Yeah. Thank you very much. I know it's a warm day, and some of you are praying for ice in the arena at least. That's where most of you want it, and some of you want a nice ball diamond so you can play ball. So it's good, and we're getting some older people coming in here. I just see Mr. Whitney coming in, so. Well, a younger generation of the more mature, right? Thank you. Glad you're here. Anyways, I'm going to ask council members, any information you would like to share at this time? Start with Councillor Quinte.
The only thing I can add is that in my neighborhood on Montrose Road, the traffic calming measures have started to be put in place, and in our local Facebook group, we're getting mixed messages. Some people love it, and some people maybe not so much. But it's there for a trial period, and I hope to hear back from my fellow neighbors on the success of what we're doing there to help control or keep people driving the speed limit. I know speeding's an issue throughout the entire province, but we're going to try in one neighborhood anyhow. Thanks.
Thank you. Councillor Stedall?
Just one thing, I want to thank staff and the community for an excellent Canada Day celebration. I thought it was very well done, and the fireworks were excellent. So anyway, yeah, thank you.
Councillor O'Neill?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This weekend, Friday night, Festival on the Bay. It's supposed to be a fabulous fireworks presentation. Everyone should come down to watch it.
You don't have to go too far. I'm sure it'll be visible all over. Thank you. Councillor McHugh.
Yeah, I'd just like to report, had a wonderful day yesterday. The mayor, Councillor O'Neill, Councillor Ollier, and myself attended the groundbreaking ceremony for Habitat for Humanity on Leicester Road. They're going to be building 2 duplex, I believe, could accommodate homes for 4 families. I think it's great, but we're moving ahead with more housing. So we need more, but it's a great start. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to go to Councillor Sharp and then Councillor Reed and Councillor Freeman. Councillor Sharp?
Well, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just wanted to comment that it was such an honor to attend with you and Councillor McHugh, our new Canadian ceremony that was just before Canada Day or very close to it. There were 45 new Canadians brought to our community and region from 20 different countries. And it was just amazing, and welcome to all. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Glad you were here. Councillor Reed?
Thank you very much. There's an exciting event happening on July 24th at Centennial Park. It's Touch the Truck from 10 until 2. It's an absolutely wonderful event. The library will be there as well, helping with that event, as well as all of Quinte West staff. There will be vehicles from emergency services, city vehicles, airbase vehicles. So July 24th, Centennial Park, 10 to 2. Don't miss it.
Thank you. Councillor Freeman, anything? No? Okay, I'll keep going. Councillor Elliott?
Nothing at this time, thanks. I think
Councillor
everything
Card?
got touched on.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Worship. I was also going to mention Festival on the Bay, returning to downtown Trenton, July 17th, 18th, and 19th. 3 days of free, family-friendly entertainment. They have the Sidewalk Sail Course, Artist Alley, the Kinsman Pancake Breakfast, the infamous Fireworks and Drone Show on the Friday night, and various buskers and entertainment on Thursday and Friday, and the Dragon Boat Races, which has been a cool addition on the Saturday morning. So get out there, support. We got lots of local vendors and a few from outside, and do some shopping.
Councillor Kutsovas?
Thank you. Just since it's a hot day, if anyone would like a seat, there are 2 open rows here for the people standing at the back.
Yes. Yes, there are seats up at the front. They're not, they're on sale too.
I charge for standing.
Okay.
Got them charge for standing.
Yes, you do. You want to tell about the pickleball? Oh, you go ahead. You're on it. You're a part of it. The pickleball tournament coming up.
Oh, there's a pickleball tournament coming up at the TRC, the Trenton Racket Club. I know my colleague, Councillor O'Neill, is participating in it, and we wish him all the best of luck for that. And it's certainly, it's appropriate today when we talk about the Sports Hall of Fame and the importance of sports in the community. And congratulations to the committee that raised the money to build the four pickleball courts that many people in the community are using.
I'm going to go back to Councillor O'Neill. Maybe you could expand on the tournament that's coming up and also on the amount of money that was raised by the group to do repair work and.
Thank you. It was a substantial amount of money, Friday night, Saturday morning. And thank you, Mr. Mayor, for taking the fundraising people out to celebrate our achievement.
Yeah, okay. He doesn't want to say much, does he? But anyways, I thank you very much, all the people who took part in the fundraising for the pickleball courts, and they are a real asset and a contribution to the many activities in this city, and the pickleball courts are well used. So I congratulate all those who are able to move right and left and stop and not worry about your knees disintegrating. So it's good. It is. It's great. Okay, I think any disclosures of pecuniary interest by anybody on council? That's just particularly, declare that closed then. Thank you. Need approval of the agenda. Councillor McHugh moves, seconded by Councillor Elliott. Any comments or questions on the agenda? Councillor Quinte.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Later on, when we get to the planning minutes of the planning meeting, I'd like to ask my fellow councillors if we could defer an item on the agenda regarding sign variance. It's planning number 25-050 PD. And I don't know if Mr. Ryan Carr is going to be speaking during public input or not. But he was intending to ask the same question. Thanks.
Okay, well, we'll deal with that when we
Yep,
get to it.
I understand.
Okay, thank you. Anything else? All, I guess, all in favor? Thank you, carried. Okay, minutes, approval of the minutes of the council meeting held June 18th, and that's a resolution that they be approved. Moved by, I need a mover and a seconder. Councilor Sharp, move. Councilor Reed, seconds. Okay, any comments or questions? All in favor? Carried, thank you. Okay, we are at the minutes of the special council meeting held on July 4th be approved, and further, the minutes of the closed session special council meeting held on July the 4th be approved.
I'll move.
Councilor Quinte move. Councilor Freeman, second. Okay. Any comments or questions? Comments or questions? All in favor? Thank you very much. Carried. Okay, public meeting, Council of the City of Quinte West to hold a public meeting concerning surplus lands set out and described as Lot 107, Sydney Street, and QR 493839 ST easement over all in favor of, and so on and so forth. It makes a lot of sense to you, I know it does. Quinte West, County of Hastings, subject to an easement over in favor of part of lot, and I can tell you it's close to the water tower in Frankfurt. Okay, council, okay, I need who's care, anybody, anything you want to add to that, or?
Yeah, through you, Mr. Mayor, just for council's information, notice was provided in the print media for this public meeting on June 23rd and June 26th, and was placed on the city's website on May 29th. The purpose of the meeting was previously discussed in staff report QW 225-0002 from Director Denowden.
Okay, thank you. Information, do I need a mover and a seconder or to receive?
No, through you, Mr. Mayor, if there's no one in attendance who'd like to speak to it, you can declare this public meeting closed and we'll move on to the next one.
Okay, we'll declare it closed, and unless there is somebody who wants to speak, thank you. If you don't, I'm good. All right, declare it closed, okay. And the next one, please, Josh, go ahead for the,
Yeah, through you, Mr. Mayor. Notice of this public meeting was provided in the print media on June 23rd and June 26th and on the city's website on May 29th. Purpose of the public meeting was previously discussed in staff report QW 225-0004 from Director Denowden. Didn't receive any written submissions, and if there's no members of the public here to speak to it, then we can declare it closed.
okay? Anything? Okay, I'll declare the meeting closed. Thank you very much. Okay, we're now into delegations.
Sorry, Mr. Mayor, we have one more.
Oh, sorry. Okay, go ahead, surplus lands, go ahead.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, notice of this public meeting was provided in the print media on June 23rd and June 26th and was posted on the city's website on May 29th. Purpose of the public meeting was previously discussed in staff report QW 2025-0003 from Director Denowden. Did not receive any public written submissions, and if there's nobody in attendance to speak to it, we can declare it closed.
Anyone to speak to this? Thank you very much. Silence is golden. I declare it closed. Okay. All right, next is, we got a delegation, we've got some guy named Tim Leary has got some very important duties to carry. And Nick Ogden's going to help him. Is that right? Or Nick's doing all the work and you're, as long as you don't mess up your hair, we're okay, right? All right, well, let's get started then. And it looks like we'll have to take a 5-minute break sometime because they want to take some pictures and I may have to, but we'll see. Okay, come on up, wherever you want to be.
Good afternoon. Hello? Yeah, good, perfect. Good afternoon, Mayor Harrison and members of council. My name is Nick Ogden, and I am one of the special event coordinators here with the City of Quinte West. I have the pleasure of working with the Quinte West Sports Wall of Fame working group members. These dedicated individuals make the Quinte West Sports Wall of Fame possible. So please join me in welcoming Tim Leary, Wendy Olette, Jim Whitney, Sue Corver, and absent today is Debbie Bonter. I would like to say thank you to the entire Quinte West Sports Wall of Fame committee for their dedicated work and service. Your passion and commitment ensure that our community's rich history of sports is preserved and celebrated. Now to kick off our Sports Wall of Fame induction ceremony, I would like to welcome Your Worship Mayor Harrison to begin our ceremony with some opening remarks.
Well, I don't have a lot of opening remarks because you're already sick of listening to me. But thank you very much for doing the work and deciding who should be inducted into the Wall of Fame. It certainly is an honor to be a part of that, and I know the committee has worked hard, and I know that the committee has been very thorough, because I know Sue and Wendy would make sure of that, So I'm not leaving out the other two members, am I? No. Anyways, thank you very much for all the work you've done to put this together and help us nail people on the wall. Thank you. Congratulations. You're on.
Thank you, Mayor Harrison. I would also just like to let all of our inductees know that when you're called up here to receive your plaque and certificate, that we ask you to move over to the side here for photos. So I'd like to now introduce our MC for our evening and committee member, Mr. Tim Larry.
Thank you, Nick. Good afternoon, Mayor Harrison, members of council, family, friends, and inductees. My name is Tim Larry. I'm a member of this committee and a proud inductee to this wall, and I'm honored to be your MC for the 12th Quinte West Sports Wall of Fame induction ceremony. We are gathered here at Quinte West City Hall to celebrate the incredible achievements of the athletes, the builders, and championship teams who have left an indelible mark on the sporting landscape of this community. We will now begin our inductions for the 2025 Sports Wall of Fame. We would like to ask committee members Jim Whitney and Sue Corver to please come to the front to assist in those presentations. Our first inductee in the builder category is a familiar voice to many of you in our community. Mark Kennedy, born and raised in Trenton, a graduate of Trenton High School, was best known as Bundy in the Morning when he was on 1270 CJTN AM radio. He hosted the morning show from 1996 to 2004 and championed local sports as the station's sports director. A lifelong athlete and community advocate, Mark made history by launching live broadcasts of the Trenton Sting junior hockey team and set a new standard for broadcasting sports coverage in the local area. Please welcome Mr. Mark Kennedy to come forward for the presentation of his plaque and a photo. The mayor's got to be in this too.
Did he tell you where your mother was born?
What are you saying about my mother? Can we just have everybody? Come on over. Come on over here.
I know she
Over here.
One of his inside jokes. You never know. I presume so.
No.
In Frankfurt, that Scoots, who's that guy's Highway 2, the someplace. Was it one in Frankfurt? But there was a farmer's son.
Congratulations, Mark. Our next builder inductee is a decorated multi-sport athlete and influential rugby coach. Brian Mindell's impact spans decades, from being a member of an Ontario Hockey Championship team in 1986 as a teenager, to returning to Trenton High School as a teacher coach and guiding Trenton High School's rugby teams to 21 OFSA appearances and 13 OFSA championships. As a teacher and a mentor, he inspired generations of student athletes to value sportsmanship, education, and fair play, earning him the 2013 OFSA Leadership in School Sport Award. I would ask Brian to come to the front and to receive his plaque from Jim Whitney and the mayor. So come on over here again. Oh, come on over here. Yeah, yeah. Congratulations, Brian. We now move on to our championship team inductions. Thank you, Jim and Sue. Jim, I'll ask you to stay, and Wendy Roulette, if you would please join us up front for the presentations. Our first team to be inducted tonight is the 2023 Lang & Fetter Motors Quinte Royal 16U Provincial OBA Provincial Champions. This team achieved provincial glory in 2023, showcasing exceptional talent and teamwork. Will the representatives of the 2023 Lang & Fetter Motors Quinte Royal 16U OBA Provincial Champions please come forward for the presentation of their plaque and team photo, including all team representatives who are in attendance. Please come forward. Shake hands and then come right over to this side and shake the mayor's hand. Yeah, thank you. Well done. Good job. Well done. Good job. Well done. Good job. Boy, you guys got everybody here. Good job, Chris. Well done. Well done. You're all...
Somebody here.
Just a couple other comments that I want to make. Since it's great to be here today, but I want you to know that Sue Corver works 12 months of the year. Yes, she works for the Hawks as well as, and she's the lady that takes money from you at every Hawks game. It's called the 50-50 draw, and if you're lucky, she puts your ticket in the draw. No, I'm just kidding. But anyways, thanks, Sue, for all the work. And Wendy Roulette is there all the time as well, supporting and doing all she can to make things work. So thank you.
You're missing the photo.
I don't see the guy here.
Get in the middle. You're the big cheese.
We've already discussed it.
First politician to ever miss an opportunity for a photo. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, guys, and congratulations.
I just see Dr. Craig Kochek is here, and the only reason he's here is, guys, he's a chiropractor, so he's looking for work. So take care of yourself. I'm just kidding. Thanks, Craig.
Is he starting at the front? Our final inductees for the evening are the 2024 Quinte West Golden Hawks OHF U18A champions. This team's dedication and hard work culminated in an OHF championship in 2024. I would ask that all team members and representatives from the team please come forward to accept their plaque and pose for a picture with the mayor and other dignitaries. Well done. Good job. Good job. Congrats, Aiden. Thank you. Hey, congrats. Hey, congrats. How are you? She's just thinking, you couldn't have done this 15 years ago. I don't know how we're going to put everybody up in front, because that's the next part. Well, that's the thing, we are doing that too. But, yeah. I just read what I'm told. Congratulations, guys. Good job. Going to deviate a little bit from what we have written down just because of size. Congratulations to all of our inductees this year. Very impressive group of builders and teams. So congratulations, and very nice to see you all recognized, and as many of you who were able to make it today. That's all very good. We will ask that all of the inductees please go to the atrium after I'm done for a photo on the stairs. It's a tradition that gets done in many other instances. So we'd like all of the two teams and the inductees, the builders, to go out there once I'm completed with my portion of this, which does conclude the formal introduction ceremony. So on behalf of the current committee, we would like to thank our past members of the Quinte West Sports Wall of Fame for their dedicated work and service. I would also like to add that the current committee is grateful to the leadership shown by Special Events Coordinator Nick Ogden and his colleagues in making this event happen. Thank you, Nick. And lastly, a huge thank you and congratulations to all of you for your recognition of this event tonight. And if you would kindly go outside to the atrium hallway, we can get a picture, and then you are all invited to a reception which is in the special events room just off to the left of the stairwell. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Tim, very much. And I'm going to declare a 5-minute intermission for council. 5-minute break. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to reconvene. Thank you very much. Great to have so many quality athletes here tonight and recognize their achievements. Fantastic, fantastic. So thanks to all the members who worked hard to put it together and make it work. So, all right. Right now we are council with Director Denowden, and we're going to present the Government Finance Association plaque and award. Thank you. You're on.
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, I'll just explain the awards. This is the second year in the row. The Finance Department is proud to be awarded with the GFOA Distinguished Budget Award. So this award is given out and reviewed for everything that it includes, focusing on clarity, transparency, and adherence to best practices in budgeting. There's a rigorous criteria for each section of the budget book and what's contained in the contents. There's 3 independent reviewers that review our budget book and review the 4 pillars of policy, financial plan, operational detail, and communication effectiveness. And there's a feedback loop also every time we submit. The City of Quinte West is proud to be one of 18 award winners out of 444 Ontario municipalities. So we're providing a budget book that is at par with some municipalities that are much larger and much more resourced than we are. So very proud to present this award for the second year in a row to our staff.
Video's not coming on.
Well, congratulations, folks, and yeah, it's a pleasure for me as mayor and all council members and the people we represent to know that you're doing an excellent job, and that when I ask for money, the answer is always the same. Don't have any. You don't have any for me, and that's the way it should be. So, but I thank you for making sure that our bills are paid, the investments are working, and you're doing your job on a regular basis. Congratulations from all council members and all the people we represent. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Any council members have anything they'd like to say at this time? Councilor Boyce?
Thank you, Your Worship, and I'm not sure, this is to Caleb, I'm not sure if the rumor was true, but because we won the award, did the Premier say that he would pick up the complete budget for this year's city?
I haven't heard that, but I hope so, yeah.
We're all hopeful, but I don't think we're worrying about it. But Councillor Stedall, go ahead.
Thank you, Worship. On behalf of the Municipal Finance Officers of Ontario, congratulations. This is a very prestigious award across a number of 2,500 members that belong to that association. And the GFOA is actually an international organization. So yes, we've won it within you've done a job to win it within the municipality or within the province, but it's actually an international award. And hopefully one day you and the staff will get a chance to go there as well. But yeah, congratulations. Job well done. Thank you.
Anyone else have anything?
Sure,
Anyone else?
Mr. Mayor.
I'm not sending anybody across the border, so let's get that straight right now. Thank you. Councillor Quinte?
Yeah, I just wanted to respond to Councillor Boyce's question. The Premier was listening. He even granted Mayor Harrison strong mayor powers so that the upcoming budget is going to be Mr. Harrison's budget.
No,
So he
is-
dropped it right in your lap.
I've already signed the documents declaring council's position, and you're doing the budget.
Awesome. I can't wait. And yeah, it's really great to be well, not that I've been recognized, but that our staff's recognized for their hard work. And they come to us with their dreams, and then we try our best to dash them. And but it's a great working atmosphere between council and staff to try to do the best we can for our city. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Anyone else? Okay, well, thank you very much, folks. Thank you, we'll carry on. Okay, any public input? That's what I'm.
Page over.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, okay, yeah. Any public input?
Yeah.
Pretty quiet.
Mr. Mayor, through you, we have a gentleman, Mr. Carr, on virtually to
Oh,
speak to
okay.
council.
Okay, thank you. Ryan Carr, go ahead, Mr. Ryan.
Mr. Mayor, can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Council members, much appreciated. The matter I'm speaking to tonight is with respect to the matter that Councillor Quinte had mentioned earlier this evening with regards to 628 Old Highway 2. Is Council or Councillor Quinte familiar with this matter?
I'm here.
Yes.
Okay, terrific. So thank you for hearing the file tonight. Really appreciate that. As far as the file itself, so a quick 30-second recap on where we're headed and then a brief ask. I'll try to be as brief as possible. During the June Planning Committee hearing, a sign minor variance or minor variance sign application went in for 628 Old Highway 2. The process lasted about 45 minutes back and forth with the planning committee. And during that meeting, we had discovered that we had met some of the criteria for the sign. However, we did not meet some of the criteria for the sign. I've been working back and forth with council members, with city staff, and of course the planning committee meeting that we had in June to try to come to some type of a resolve. We obviously have not come to that resolve as of yet. So my request for council this evening would be to defer the decision on the June Planning Committee minutes, such that I have more time on this file to work with council, to work with staff, to work with community members, to potentially find a resolve for this minor variance. If you have any questions, or if anybody has any questions from council, I would be happy to answer them now, and thank you very much for hearing my public input.
Okay. Anybody with any questions at this time? Otherwise,
I don't have any questions, but I can give a brief explanation. At the planning meeting, the sign variance was voted to deny the request. But what I'm going to be asking for when we come to the minutes of the planning meeting is if we can defer that section of the planning minutes so that we can give Mr. Carr some time to do the work that he needs to do, and then he can come back either to the council or the planning committee with a presentation at that time. So that's what I'll be asking for. Thanks.
okay, thank you. Councillor Card.
Mr. Mayor? Oh, sorry.
Councillor Card and then Councillor Sharp.
Thank you, Your Worship. Through you to Director of Planning, Jardine. Could you speak to the process if the minutes are adopted and not deferred relating to Mr. Carr's ask of the sign variance? He would be given presumably an opportunity to reapply under a revised variance ask, a revised plan for his sign in the future. And I ask that and think it's relevant because I would imagine, maybe you can speak to this too, that significant changes in the application to a point where staff could support it, which I'm not sure how that's possible, but can he make significant enough changes or is this inevitably to get a staff support, not to not violate the bylaw? Will it inevitably require a new application?
Through your worship. So my feeling on the first part is that it sounds from Mr. Carr's brief presentation that he wants to bring forward some changes, or at least discuss some changes. I think I'd be right in saying that if council deferred this evening to come back later on to council. It would basically be for more information on what's been presented through planning committee right now. So it sounds like what Mr. Carr's actually wanting to do is amend his application. So I would suggest then that today's minutes could go through. There would be nothing to prevent Mr. Carr from making a reapplication if it is indeed his intent to make some changes. Now, to your second question, which is probably kind of defeats the purpose of the first comment, it's going to be hard to change the application because there's really two parts to any application. There's the location, and then there's some of the dimensional aspects of it. Normally, a variance, whether it's a sign variance or even a minor variance under another planning application, it's usually a situation where the use is permitted. The use is in the right location, but it just doesn't meet some of the technical parameters around dimensions, setbacks. So it's looking for a slight variation on what the bylaw requires. Unfortunately, for Mr. Carr, the situation here is that his application is for a general advertising sign, which is a sign that advertises products and services, businesses that are on other properties, not on the property that the sign is located. And meanwhile, the property is in residential use. There's, I think, 14 different apartment units in different buildings on the property. And general advertising signs are not permitted either on or within 100 metres of residential properties. All of the neighbouring properties are residential as well. So, you know, any movement of the sign on the lot is not going to change. It's not going to change the fact that it still needs a variance, and it's probably not going to change the staff recommendation, would be my opinion.
Okay, Councillor Boyce. I think Councillor Sharp was next. Councillor Sharp is next. Go ahead. Councillor Sharp. Can't hear you. Sorry, can't hear you.
Wanted to.
Good. You're good. Go ahead.
Am I good? Okay. I just wanted to apologize to Mr. Carr for not returning his phone call. I'm at a cottage up north on vacation, and to return calls, I have to drive out to the highway. And so I did not get back to you, but I am aware of the situation, and I just wanted you to know I didn't return your call. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Anything else? Councillor Boyce, go ahead.
Thank you, Your Worship. And I did have some back and forth with Mr. Carr, although we didn't finally connect. My question would be that if we were to allow this, the crux of it is that we would have to basically, and this is to Director Jardine, would we have to then change basically our whole sign bylaw? That's the crux of the whole situation, that we'd have to change our bylaw. It's not just a minor variance per se. It would be to allow signs in residential property. We would have to then change our whole sign bylaw, which I know from past experience isn't an overnight job, isn't a multi-month job. It's a long time to do that.
To your worship, it really depends on council's direction. So what's in front of council right now is a specific application at a specific location. So council could overturn the decision or the recommendation from planning committee, and that would allow this sign to be placed. Now, there is the issue of setting a precedent that could follow on. But, you know, the other question back to council would be, if what this application has done is made council think that this type of sign should be located on a residential property throughout the municipality, then to your point, yes, that would entail a full review and update of the sign bylaw. That's certainly not what the applicant's asking for at this point in time, so that would be the direction of council. But I'm not getting the feeling that that's where council are going. They're really looking to make a decision on this particular application, but that would not entail updating the entire bylaw.
But if we were to allow this variance, what prevents us then from saying to say 400, the address 400 or 200 or all along Old Highway 2 from becoming littered with signs, large signs, from every residential property that says, we've allowed this on 628. Why can't I allow this on my property on Highway 2?
It's very,
Through your worship, yeah, the idea of setting a precedent is a tough one. Basically, it puts the committee and council in a difficult situation when a similar application comes. It does not. It doesn't work. So precedent does not work the same as case law, where you do not have to follow the same path. Basically, a planning application, or in this case, a sign variance application, is basically entertained by the municipality on the merits of that application. But however, if committee and council approve something that goes against policy or against zoning, you do open up the question for future similar applications as to why you're not going to follow the same path.
And finally, I mean, our local police service, the OPP and Belleville, are doing an amazing job along Highway 2 right now in terms of speeding and distracted driving and seatbelt violations and other things. And I mean, to me, that area that would be all of a sudden perforated with so many signs would just encourage people to take their eyes off the road and read the signs. So I mean, it's kind of going against so many things, in my opinion, that I can't support this minor variance as it stands right now.
Mr. Mayor,
Councillor Quinte.
am I still on?
Councillor Quinte.
Just to give some context, this is more of a rural commercial area, and there's over a dozen signs from White's Road to the airbase. Although those signs are on commercial properties and or are on residential type properties that only advertise for those locations, but there's at least a dozen signs. There's more than a dozen signs already from White's Road to the airbase. And the other point is, this council has done other variants to bylaws. There's a certain pickup truck out at Tucker's Corners that was passed by this council to allow the owner to maintain or keep his pickup truck there. I don't think he's done anything with it. I must admit I haven't been by it for 2 or 3 months, but what I understand is that truck was allowed to be put in place because this council agreed to turn a blind eye, I guess, to the bylaw at that time. And to my recollection, I don't know, I don't think we got too many requests for other pickup trucks to be allowed to be parked at the road like that one. But anyhow, that's my 2 cents. We'll talk later, I'm sure.
Councillor Stidle.
Thank you, Worship. Just a clarification. So they can make another application? There's nothing that stops
nothing stopping them, no.
another
That's right.
application? So if this applicant wants to come back with another application with more information or changing anything, or maybe support from the residents that, are in the area, which is, I believe, what happened with the pickup truck, that we ended up having a number of people come as delegations, that could happen. Is that correct?
Anything can happen, you're right.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Mr. Carr's got his hand up.
Who?
Mr. Carr.
Hasn't Mr. Carr already had his time for public
Mr. Carr
input?
wants to speak.
I don't think we should be going back. We should be following the rules.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm fine. Okay, so, anything you need, Mr.? No, we're good? Okay. All right. Let's continue on then, please. The next one in mine is the interim, I guess waiver of fees for the Stan Clemency Care Home. Need a mover and a seconder for this. Councillor Armstrong, Councillor O'Neill, any comments or questions? All in favor? Thank you. Carried. Okay. Next one is regarding update on significant projects. I need a move and a second for this. Councillor McHugh, Councillor Quinte, any comments or questions on the projects that have been? Councillor McHugh.
Just want to say great work. I've heard a lot of comments out there, and the pictures tell the story.
Thank you. Okay. We got Matt Tracy here to answer any questions, so don't be shy about asking. Councillor O'Neill.
Thank you, Mr. Bain. Mr. Mayor. The Centennial Park Trail Link, I believe there's a time limit on that. Are we going to be able to meet it so we don't lose any of the government grants?
Go ahead.
Through your worship, Mr. Jackson's attended the meeting tonight, and that's his project that he's managing, so I'll let him speak.
Okay, so
to that.
you can get an answer. Okay.
Mr. Jackson's here.
Oh, I'm sorry. There,
Yeah.
I got my glasses on. I can only see Inspector. Sorry. Go ahead.
Thank you. Through you, Mr. Mayor. So myself and engineering staff, we've been working with the federal government, and currently we're in discussions with First Nations consultation, which has taken us longer than we had expected, as well as some of the private property owners there. So we're working towards the goal of getting that done, and then I've also been in communication with our grant officer from the feds. So the intent is to get it done for sure.
Thank you. Anything, Councilor McHugh?
And while we've got Robert here, could you please explain for the public micro-surfacing? I've seen it out there at the Glen Burnie Bridge and Highway 2 west of town. Beautiful. And will this eventually someday take over the crack sealing program, do you think possibly? Or can you tell us, cost-saving wise as opposed to repairing the road? But I think it looks great. Thank you.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, to Councilor McHugh. So microsurfacing is a very thin layer of select asphalt that we apply over the top of the road, and the intent is to protect the investment of the actual asphalt. So the microsurfacing will ablate, it will wear off over time, and then you put on another coat. So it won't entirely replace crack sealing. The two kind of go hand in hand, with the intent of providing a barrier to protect the investment of the asphalt itself, which is significantly more expensive. So we've been looking at this in the asset management about expanding the microsurfacing program with that intent to protect the asphalt.
Okay. Anything? Councilor Quinte.
I just wanted to thank my fellow councillors for listening to now CAO Chris Angelo when he came back to us and asked for more money. So because the team quickly realized there was just a couple of more kilometers of roads that needed some attention. And if you take a couple minutes to run down Jeffrey Drive, I think the team, the contractor did a great job on Jeffrey Drive because back in March it wasn't so nice to drive on, but now it's a beautiful road. Thank you.
Well, just to clarify your statement, it sounded like you were suggesting that our new CEO had asked for more money. And
he did.
So immediately I think salary. But
No,
you think
no, I'm talking about the roads budget.
Okay.
He came back to ask to increase the roads budget and road surfacing budget so that
Yes.
more roads could be repaired and or resurfaced.
Okay, I agree with you. Thank you. Anything else? Anyone else? Anyone? Anyone?
Question here.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Zach. Councilor Card. Go ahead.
Thank you, Your Worship. Through you to Mr. Jackson, just kind of a technical question, just kind of an idea that I had. But I see the potential revised path of the Bain Park Trail connection, and I was looking at that and thinking, has staff investigated whether it would be possible? I've seen over the years different locations, boardwalks built out over the water to I probably solve similar issues with not getting easements or access to property. I imagine that comes with a higher price tag, but I was just curious if staff had looked into that as a possibility and kind of how you came to the revised up along Highway 2.
Okay.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, to Councilor Card. That's a good question. So we did, and I think what you're referring to, Councilor Card, is the initial trail alignment that followed and went on the south side of Skyview Estates Trailer Park.
Yes.
So we investigated that pretty extensively over the winter, and through consultation with the Department of Fisheries and Oceans, DFO, they deemed that area around the trailer park to be navigable waters. So what that means is that any structure we build has to be tall enough to convey a boat underneath of it. And so when we looked at various configurations for how the trail could cross from behind like the city's property where the stormwater pond is, behind Canadian Tire and Smiley's, all the way to Bain Park through those water crossings, there was significant grade elevation changes that we had to accommodate because it was deemed navigable. So that took a lot of options off the table. In light, I also had the pleasure of meeting with many of the folks that live in that trailer park, and there was quite a bit of public resistance to that, one way or the other. So a little bit of backstory, we were looking at how could we get around this, and I found the original plan for that park from 1992, or for the trail from 1992, and the original plan from the 90s proposed the alignment that's in the council report. So to get away with those challenges from the DFO in water works and a whole bunch of other restrictions, that's why we're proposing to go back to the 1992 plan.
Thank you. Okay. Anything else? Anything else under public input before we go? Okay, well, I'm going to ask Inspector McNaughton to bring us up to date on the enforcement specifics with respect to impaired drivers.
Thank you, Your Worship. So I had sent some stats to Your Worship earlier this week in regards to the numbers for impaired driving. Last year, for the entire year, for 2024, for the Quinte West Detachment, there was 87 arrests for impaired driving. Currently, as of this morning, we're at 88 for the year. So I went through all of the occurrences last week when there was 83 impaireds. I went through each individual occurrence to determine how are we arresting these people? Was it through traffic complaints? Was it through traffic enforcement? Was it because we were setting up ride programs? Motor vehicle collisions. Majority of the impaireds are through the ride program, traffic enforcement, and traffic complaints, which is wonderful. The community is engaged and they're calling us, and the officers are taking the time to actually track down those vehicles and arresting the drivers for impaired driving. There are still a significant number of the impaireds that are coming through motor vehicle collisions. This is obviously a concern. It's not just in Quinte West. This is across Ontario. This is across the board that this is happening. Impaireds are still increasing in numbers. I would say the difference maybe from last year to this year is that we have more frontline members that are out there doing this proactive work, which is enabling us to then take that time to obviously answer calls for service, but still with the greater number of officers out there, now we can increase our proactive work. So I'm not saying that impaireds have increased, we just have the capability of going out there and finding more of these occurrences. So that being said, it's a major concern for me. It's obviously safety of the motoring public is #1 priority. It's also my officers that are out there driving 24 hours a day, days and nights, looking for impaired drivers. So we have discussed it, myself and Staff Sergeant Viss have discussed what our next steps going forward are. One thing that we are going to do is every time we have an impaired driver, I've asked our media officer to put out a media release, and the person that is arrested and charged with impaired, they will be named in the media release. Sometimes that is a deterrent in itself. That again is up to the media whether they print the person's name or not, but we will be supplying that person's name. When we are done with the focus patrol on Highway 2, we will turn our attention over to a focus patrol specific to impaired driving. And that may mean an increased number of ride programs, specific times. There's no pattern to it. There's no time of the day that is, safer than another time of the day. As I've explained to my own kids, we get impaireds at 9 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes that's because people are heading to work or they've stayed somewhere overnight, think that they're sober and they're driving home, and in fact, they're still impaired from the night before. And then obviously an increase at night when liquor establishments are closing. So there's not a specific time in the day that we're finding. So our attention will be on conducting rides. We will have areas where we've had a greater number of impaired drivers arrested. We will be focusing more on those areas, as well as a greater media presence to draw the attention to the community. It's very important that the community stay engaged with this when it comes to traffic complaints. We do take them seriously. We obviously need as much information as we can. Is it in real time? Is it happening right now? But the officers know the importance of tracking those vehicles down. It could be a medical reason, but quite often we are finding that the information provided by the community is accurate, and we are arresting the driver for impaired.
Because of the easier access to alcohol in convenience stores, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
I think it would certainly, it's an opportunity for us to blame the increase on that, absolutely. The ability to buy alcohol was always there. I don't love that they're on the en routes, on the 401, things like that. But at the end of the day, it's a choice that people make to buy that alcohol and then consume it and drive. Alcohol has always been available in the liquor stores. Now, yes, it's easier. Person doesn't have to stop at the liquor store. They can buy it at Walmart or the convenience stores, but they have to still decide to drink it and then drive away.
Councillor O'Neill.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Through you to the superintendent, when someone wants to make a complaint, could you explain what number they should dial?
Certainly, if it's something that's happening right at the moment and the driving is so egregious that it's going to cause, a collision, something like that, call 911. And the information can be determined through the 911 operator. They can determine whether this needs to still be kept on the 911 line, or they can send it over to the call taker to gather that information. At the same time that they're gathering that information, they're speaking to the dispatcher in this area, who's then sending that information to the officers on the road.
Thank you. Councillor Card and then Councillor Boyd.
Thank you, Your Worship. Through you to the superintendent, I'll try to be quick. I know you weren't expecting probably a lot of questions here today, but just for my own personal interests, I don't sit on the Police Services Board. As you talk about allocating more resources to enforcement of intoxicated, impaired driving, is there a role to play for the OPP detachment in terms of, when you talked about community participation, that being important, are there ways, communications-wise, thinking about communication with establishments, serve alcohol, sell alcohol, reminding of over-serving folks, or some of their, does the OPP have a part to play in that, or is that left to other regulatory agencies like the AGCO and others?
No, we certainly have a role to play. There is the idea that liquor establishments obviously are not allowed to serve to the point that someone is impaired. So they can be held accountable. If we arrest somebody for impaired driving, there is a list of questions that we ask the driver, that the breath breath tech asks the driver when they're back at the detachment doing the test. Some of those questions are, did you leave a liquor establishment? Were you at home? Where were you coming from? Where were you heading to? Those kind of questions. If it's determined that they have in fact left a bar or a restaurant where they were served, that establishment can be held accountable for serving the person to the point of impairment. It doesn't mean it happens all the time, but we have the ability to hold them accountable if we do. So for us, it's an educational piece. Because again, at the end of the day, my idea, my thought process, if I'm going to a bar and I'm drinking to the point of impairment, that's on me. However, when someone gets to the point of impairment, they're not always making the best decisions. So it should be on the establishment at that point to arrange for a drive or to try and make arrangements for that person to get home safely. So it's an educational piece. We can put it out through media releases again that there is a limit for the person and the establishment has a responsibility to not serve beyond impairment or to impairment. But it does fall on us as well as the AGCO to get that information out there.
Thank you. Councillor Boyce.
Thank you, Your Worship. And I remember it was just over 2 years ago under general business, I brought forward, I was commending the OPP for being so proactive back then. I had, lived in a previous municipality for the majority of my life, and I moved to Quinte West in 2021. And from that time, from 2021 to 2023, I had been at ride programs more often in Quinte West than I had been in my previous place. So, I mean, the OPP's, got to be commended on being proactive. It's not something new that you're doing as a result. You recognize the issue way beforehand, and I've been involved in ride programs. Stopped. In the morning, I've been on streets that, I think hardly anybody travels, and yet there's the OPP conducting road programs. So I think the OPP's been very proactive, and I'm really happy to hear that, and I hope the media, follows this, that you name those people that are being charged with impaired and with this, because it's really important to get out there and recognize those people that potentially could be killing people, or if at the very least causing issues. And so I applaud that idea, and it's great to hear.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to keep going. Okay, thank you. I need a mover and a seconder for the next resolution. That Director of Corporate Services regarding council committee structure. Mover and a seconder for this one. Councillor McHugh, move, seconded by, need a seconder, Councillor Reid. Okay, do you want to speak to this, Josh? Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Through you, the rest of council, just make a couple comments. I think overall the response to the surveys that we put out there were positive. I think it indicates to me as the clerk that we're on the right track with our committees. But I acknowledge that there are certainly some improvements we need to make, and I think the timing of those improvements fall in line with the next term of council. And I discussed a couple of them in my report. I think most important being the orientation of our members. I think that there's a lot we can do at the beginning of the term of council to better equip them for success as committee members. Certainly, the senior management team is going to look at our slate of committees and boards and make sure that all the ones that we have are relevant and are doing the work that council needs them to do, which would lead us to do a thorough review of all the terms of references, again, to make sure that it aligns with the goals of council. We're going to look at how us as staff, how we as staff support our committees and boards, make sure that we're getting the right staff to each meeting. And again, I mentioned in the report that we were going to investigate looking at whether or not we could align some financial resources with our committees. I know one of the biggest things that we heard from the committees is that there's a lot of projects that they want to undertake, but there's never any money to do anything. So certainly as staff, with council's direction, we would look at a possibility of putting some money aside at budget time.
Okay, thank you. Any comments or questions? Anyone? Councillor Quinte, Councillor Stedall next.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. So in your report, you indicated about a suggestion of putting two committees together, the Active Transportation Committee and the Environmental Services Committee. If we pass this, is that going to happen? Is that a recommendation, or you just put it in there for discussion?
Sorry, Councillor Quincy, I'm not sure where that's listed in the report. I might have, because I attached the previous report that I brought last year to this report, so I might have mentioned that just as an example of something that council could do. If council felt it necessary, we could certainly combine two committees together.
All right, well, I'd prefer to hear from Mr. Angelo what he thinks before we make any sort of decision. I just wanted to ask because I did read that in the report, and if that's not going to happen now, then okay, thanks.
Councillor Stedall, who's? Councillor Sharp.
And then Mr. Mayor, if I could. Thank you.
Go ahead. You're good? Okay, Councillor Stedall.
I think she thought I was speaking first, and then I think she thought that you were asking me first.
Oh.
Can I just, following Councillor Kunze and what he was saying as well, is just to know, like, there will be another report that's coming back to give us the final outline as to what the committee structures will look like. Is that what you are recommending? And then that's my first question, because there are some realignments I feel that are possible. But the second question is about the financial resources, because although, council approves the budget, given the strong mayor powers has been changed, so it is, council that's looking at it. I would still want to see council approval on projects and it not be delegated to committees, because then they could be doing something that is not in line with council direction. I just want to be clear on those two items.
Yeah. Through you to Councillor Settle, in response to your first question, if it's council's direction, I can bring another report back. I think, again, I want to align some of these changes with the conclusion of this term of council and the next term of council. I think that it would be appropriate for the next term of council to kind of let staff know which committees they want to see for that term of council. So I'm certainly open to as much direction as you guys want to provide up until the end of this term of council, if there's anything that you guys want to see. And if you're going to provide me any direction moving into the next term of council, I'll certainly take it. With respect to your second question, if we did allocate some money for committees, certainly that would be, with the caveat that any projects that they want to do would come back for council's approval. Certainly wouldn't be delegated to the committees just to move forward with.
And that's why we don't give committees money.
Yeah, I think the way that we had, as senior management, we had a very brief conversation on it, but the way we kind of pictured it was that we would put together sort of a reserve fund that the council could draw from. If a committee wanted to do a project, then they would come basically and ask council for it, but that money would exist somewhere for them to get it if council agreed with the project that they wanted to undertake.
Okay, anyone else? Anyone else?
Councillor Sharp.
Councillor Sharp, go ahead.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I really appreciate the report that the director's done there. There's been a lot of public feedback, and I know some members on committees don't feel I guess some of the work is valued, or they want to be more involved with some programming. And I saw that come out of Equity and Diversity Committee, and I think that's where some groups are saying, well, if we had a little budget, to work with a couple things. And I also understand Councillor Stedall's point, well, it still has to be approved by council, but all our minutes do, right? So I think the idea of a reserve, a little budget the committees could work with to go back to staff and council is good. We know accessibility has a budget, which I sit on because it's legislated to do so. But in the committees I've sat on, I've seen from time to time, if they had a little budget, they could recommend some decisions, but it's always about, we'll go back to budget, and like a month 3 months later, they don't feel things have been achieved. So I think that's good. I think that waiting for the new council to make any decisions on committees going forward, now that we're, going basically into the end of this year and into next year. I was always preferred the standing committees, and you explain those very carefully, the difference in your report. So I wouldn't, me, myself, have any big changes I would be recommending at this time. I do want to speak to Councillor Quinte's point, though. In the report we took last time, which you did have there, one of the committees was to, I guess, amalgamate or put environmental stewardship with traffic and safety. And I believe at that time, Councillor Card and others said, no, we want to keep that separate. So there was that discussion at that time, but it was one because of staff resources and some overlap to look at. So I just want to speak in favor of receiving. Thank you for this, knowing that you look for the future. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, all in favor? Thank you. Next one is the staff report. Council by Caleb, Director of Finance, City Treasurer, budget timeline be received. Any comments? Go ahead, please.
Yeah, thank you, Your Worship. So every year in July, we come to council just to outline the budget process that'll be coming up this fall. We have our meeting dates there. There's a couple items to note here. One is a change in meeting dates, and the other is strong mayor powers. So with the meeting dates, in October of 29th, we had a special council meeting scheduled. We have in the recommendation that council cancel this special meeting, and instead finance staff will bring forward a report at the October 15th regular council meeting on the long-term financial planning and the macroeconomic outlook for the city. The next part is more around strong mayors. This is a new thing for Quinte West in 2020 for the 2026 budget. And as Mayor, you've mentioned, you'll be issuing, or you have issued, a mayoral decision directing the treasurer to prepare and present the city's budget as we have in the past. So we'll continue on this this timeline with our meetings scheduled as they are. It is important to note there are still legislated timelines in the with the strong mayor's powers that I've attached a schedule to that includes amendment periods and appeal periods. If there's any questions on that, otherwise I'm open to questions on the report.
Any questions? All in favor?
Here's a question.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Thank you. Your Worship, through you, this could be a clerk corporate services question, but a technical question related to how will the amendment process work if there are multiple amendments, multiple councillors offering amendments on a given budget allocation for an operating department, say?
Yeah, through your worship, we're going to try to keep the process same as last year. So the two-day budget meeting would be the ideal period for council to bring forward amendments as they had before, just not under the official term of amendments. And council will vote on those changes. The mayor will be at those meetings. And assuming that there's a majority of council voting on those amendments over those two-day period, then we'll have our budget basically deemed approved based on those amendments, and assuming the mayor doesn't utilize the strong mayor powers to override the decisions from that two-day meeting.
So basically it'll be operate the first 2 days you expect to operate as previous years, where a simple majority can make alterations.
Right.
And then if the mayor exercises his veto, then we require a supermajority in another later session to overcome that. And if the mayor was to exercise his veto powers, does that mean that the figures resort to a number of his choosing, say, or an allocation of his choosing, or back to the original budget document? Do we know about that?
Yeah, through your worship. So as you can see in that attached calendar, If the veto is made, then that is the new deemed approved budget. And then there is a Jan 14 council meeting in which council can override that veto. And if there's an override of the veto, then that is the deemed approved budget. Basically, we accomplish all of the required timelines by, just looking at the attachment here, before the end of January. There are no more appeals to be made, nothing, the 26th of January. All of those legislative periods have been met, and there's no more revisiting the budget.
Okay, and sustained vetoes go back to the original budget document.
Correct.
Okay. There's no, how much protection, Inspector, can you offer the mayor? You know, like if I'm going to do the budget, then it's all my fault, right? And I'm not willing to do that. I'm willing to let you put together what you think is relative and appropriate along with me. That's the way it's going to be done. So, you know, and I don't know whether you noticed, but Patrick Brown, a mayor of Brampton, has had death threats. And I live at the end of the road and I intend to stay there. You know, it's not the end of life road, it's just the end of a road where I live. So let's make sure that we're all in this together. Yes. The rope that we use will be our own? Yes, thank you. So, anyways, that's, yeah, so.
All in favor?
Okay, can we keep going?
I need a mover and seconder for this, Mr. Mayor, before you call the vote.
Okay, seconder, Councillor Card seconds the motion. Okay?
Sorry, and a mover.
Guess we do need Councillor O'Neill, he's getting paid big time here tonight, so. Moved by Councillor O'Neill, seconded by Councillor Card, right? All in favor? Thank you, okay. Next one is planning advisory, is that right? Is that the one I'm on?
Yeah.
Okay, planning advisory resolution.
So
Meeting moved.
Mr. Mayor, I'll move it, save and
Thank you.
accept.
Second by Councillor.
Save and accept.
No, we'll move it all, and then if you have something, yeah, go ahead.
If we do that, then I just wanted to separate out Mr. Carr's sign variance application, which is
But I
item
don't
number
think you have
25
to.
dash.
Okay, what's the purpose of separating it out?
To allow Mr. Carr some time to
I think he can still do that.
Yeah, he could, I heard he could reapply. I heard that.
Yes. So, I don't know, do you have to separate it out? I guess that's my.
Well, I'm asking. If you don't want to vote in favor of it, then you don't vote in favor of it.
Well, I don't,
But I'm
I'm
asking.
not asking that. I'm asking if we can't continue what we've got and then he reapplies.
Through your worship, so I think that
I'll
depends.
second the motion.
That depends on Mr. Carr's decision as to whether he wants to reapply or not. If this gets pulled from the minutes and gets referred back to council at a later date or deferred back to council at a later date, it's coming back with additional information, but it'll be the same application. If Mr. Carr chooses to amend his application, then I feel like this can go through this evening as per the minutes, and then he would make a new application.
Okay, all right. You want to amend the minutes, that's fine with me, but I don't see the need, but that's me.
I'm just asking save and accept and we vote on Mr. Carr's sign variance application separately.
Okay.
To allow him some time. That's all.
All right.
You get to do 2 votes instead of 1.
Okay, the minutes as such without and.
Correct.
Okay.
I'll move that.
I got a mover and a seconder? Okay. Oh, you're good? All in favor?
Accepting the minutes as they are.
Minutes
And so-
except for.
And
Okay.
So
All
now
right.
I'm asking for a
It's carried.
deferral for Mr. Carr's sign variance.
Okay, so you pulled that part out and you're asking for a deferral on that. So I need a mover, moved by
Yeah.
Councillor Quinte. I need a seconder to defer that. That's what I need. Councillor Sharp. Okay. All right. Comments? Go ahead.
Just a question. Does a second application require an additional fee for the applicant?
Through your worship, based on the fee bylaw, yes, it'd be a new application. But however, if it really depends on, again, on council's decision. If you close the door on this current application this evening, then it would be a new application with a new fee. Council could obviously direct otherwise.
Councillor Card.
Thank you, Your Worship. I'm not going to be able to support the deferral simply because I cannot support the sign variance as requested. I think it would just be a waste of Mr. Carr's time. I know he's a business person. I'm sure he's busy. I think that a new application is the way to go. He did not get approval from planning. Staff did not support it, and I think it's a very hard road to hoe going in this direction. I did mention the slippery slope, I think, of approving this particular variance, and that it would essentially overturn significant parts of the bylaw. I suggested to him at that meeting, the planning meeting, that I think that his issue is kind of a macro one with that Quinte West has chosen to be a community with a conservative sign bylaw, and pushing to overcome, the issues with his application, I think is very tough. But I think it would be potentially more fruitful to have a discussion about the sign bylaw. It's been a while since that was updated. Perhaps that should be looked at. I think that's a fair debate to have, but I can't support this.
Okay, all in favor of the motion? 1, 2, 3, 4. The motion's lost.
Sorry, Mr. Mayor, if I may interject, the motion to defer it is kind of unnecessary in the sense that because council has already approved, save and accept that particular item is now kind of out here, outside of the minutes, so it has to come back to council at some point. So if council wants to give direction as to when it comes back or what specific information council's looking for in order to reconsider it, we can take that direction, but otherwise it will come back.
That's good. Any direction? I need two things he's asking for.
I was hoping to come back at the August meeting. That's what I had discussed with Mr. Carr.
Okay. August meeting. Anything else? Anything else you're asking for?
No, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think the meeting, he's asking for deferral, which is something we can't.
We will put that matter on the agenda, Mr. Mayor. Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, so we don't even need to vote on it, do we? No, okay. All right, then I'm on to the,
I'm kind of confused on that.
well,
I don't understand what's going on here. I thought if he's asking for a deferral to a certain date, should we not have to vote on it?
well,
So, just to clarify, so council has approved the minutes, save and accept that particular item.
That's right. So do we not have to vote on that particular item right now is what I'm asking.
Well, I guess what I'm trying to say is that if council votes to not defer it, then it will never come back to council. And it will also never be approved, and so council will have never actually dealt with that particular item, so.
But we haven't voted on that particular item right now, and I'm asking, I think we need to vote on this item.
So council already voted on to approve the minutes, save and accept
Right.
Mr. Carr's variance, yes.
So this Mr. Carr's variance, we need to vote on, is what I'm asking.
but I think we, because it wasn't in there, we don't support it. That's what
No, because the way that the planning minutes that came forward was that the committee denied the application, correct? So council, if we approve the minutes as they were on the agenda, then council would be supporting that denial, and Mr. Carr would be free to make a new application.
Okay?
That's what I thought.
That's what I thought.
That's what I thought of.
Yeah.
I had my hand down. There was a misunderstanding with the vote.
Okay.
You should have all denied the save and accept. That's why my hand was down for that section, because I wasn't in favor of saving and accepting. I think everyone was voting, I don't want to speak for anyone, but I think they were voting to pass all the minutes as they are. And that's what happened.
Thank you, Your Worship. Through you to the clerk. Yeah, I think that what happened was the motion was understood to be separating, but that to act on it separately on a motion, either to approve or defer, but not to not act on it at all, just to separate it from the rest of the minutes and a separate action. So can I put a motion on the floor to approve that separated? I know that we accepted it, or we separated it in the previous motion, but can we still put a motion on the floor to accept those minutes separately?
I mean, at this point, I'll defer to the chair whether or not he wants to accept that motion, given that council's already voted on something. I understand that not everyone was clear on it, but I will defer to the chair whether or not he wants to accept that motion.
All right, well, let's take that motion and we'll clear the air.
Okay, I
So-
will move to accept those separated minutes.
So just so that I'm clear and everyone else is clear, you're voting to accept the minutes as is.
Yes, the denial from planning
The-
for the sign.
Okay,
talking
so that,
about-
that would just be, correct me if I'm wrong, the minutes as they're presented. Okay.
What?
Okay?
Sure.
That's the motion on the
floor. Mr. Mayor, sorry.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We have voted the approval of the planning minutes, save and accept, the sign gentleman. So once the council, which has already voted, did save and accept. So now that sign situation has not been denied, right? So now the individual, from what I understand, can come back or do whatever, or it's been deferred because council's already determined save and accept. So now what I'm hearing is we're going to revisit those minutes. Is that correct? Because there was a misunderstanding of what that meant. Just trying to understand now what's happening.
Well, first of all, we as council cannot change the minutes. The minutes are written and that's the way they are.
I know that.
We can certainly do the minutes, save and accept, and that's what we're doing. I still think we have to deal with those that are save and accept. That's where I'm
I'll
coming.
Yes,
I'll
so-
just defer to staff. I'm now really confused.
Yeah, you're correct, Mr. Mayor. So council has approved everything in those minutes, save and accept that particular item.
Right.
So that item will come back to council separately, the way it is, the way it was presented at the planning committee on the council agenda for council to consider separately at the next meeting.
Okay, that's what I see, but anybody?
No.
Okay, well, let's vote again then. Let's ask for a
Sorry.
recorded vote.
Point of order, you can't revote on the same item at the same meeting. Is my understanding, is that it has to be clarified through the chair or something.
Correct. You would need you need 2/3 to override the rules of procedure in order to do that. I suggested it
Okay.
to the chair just because council was not clear on the original motion.
Can we get 2/3 then?
So, okay, so I need to know how many are in favor of the motion being voted on again. I guess that's what I need to ask. How many are in favor of that?
Clarifying, yeah.
One, two. Pardon?
The motion that was passed.
No, the motion was passed, save and accept.
Yes. I'd like some clarification. If it's save and accept, then we voted on everything but that one.
Right.
So do we not need to vote on the one that we didn't vote on yet?
That's what I'm saying.
Yes, it would, my understanding is that it would come back to council at the next meeting.
At the next,
Why can't it be done right now? Because that's the only one we haven't voted on yet, is what I'm asking.
If council would like to vote on it now, then you can vote on it now.
okay. All right, so we got a mover and a seconder on the,
What would the motion be then?
yeah, all except for Mr. Card.
Well, we have to suspend the rules first and then take up and redo the motion. So I think that the issue is that I think that some councilors save and accept meant to separate out, not to accept it from voting at this meeting.
If you just want to deal with this particular matter now, you don't need to waive the rules.
That's right.
Okay, then, yes.
Counselor Boyce.
But, and I'll have the clerk correct me if I'm wrong, but for the person who made the motion to save and accept, wouldn't it be beneficial for them then just to agree that we're not going to have a further vote because it's going to be coming back to council at a later time anyways? So that will give Mr. Carr an opportunity then to perhaps come up with another, solution to the issue? If, for example, if I was Councillor Quinte and I wanted it to be deferred, then I wouldn't be voting then at this particular time. I would simply agree with you that I'm not going to ask for a vote right now because it's it's got to come back to council at a later date if we don't vote. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Yeah, okay.
So he's coming back with something different.
So, and just to clarify, Mr. Carr cannot come back with a new application. If you do not vote on this application tonight, and it goes to the next council meeting, it will come back as is. He will not have an opportunity to amend his application.
Okay, Councillor Kotsovas.
Thank you. That was my understanding entirely. We had this discussion before the planning minutes even came up. Director Jardine clarified everything and said it would need to be a new application. Anyone that read the planning meeting minutes would understand that staff want to deny this or not want to, they recommended to deny this application. The majority of our council are in favor of denying this application because the previous discussion indicated that it needs to be denied in order to start a new application. So we're leaving this poor individual in limbo by voting on this and having it to the August meeting, because then that individual is just going to think we're going to reconsider his application, when in fact he's wasting his time coming here for public input with the exact same application, and staff and the majority of council have no intention of passing it in August either. So should we deny it, which is the right path, then that individual can re-examine his application, resubmit it, and have a new application for the August meeting.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor?
Councillor Stedall.
So can the applicant, after listening to all of this, just decide to withdraw their application and make a new application? If they decide that they've heard enough here, if we decide to defer the decision on this until August, in the meantime, could the applicant not just rescind their application and make a new application that gets dealt with by the next planning committee?
No reason why I can't.
So we can defer the decision tonight, and that's up to the applicant to decide whether they want to do anything, and council can either,
That's right.
vote on it again in August, or there could be something potentially different, and that's up to the applicant rather than
But
us
I
making a
think also-
decision.
I think also the point you raised, that he's going to have to reapply with financial,
Cost,
right?
yes, there's a new fee for a new application, is what was correct.
If he's making a new application that's different from the one that's in front of council.
So, sorry, Mr. Mayor, based on that, what I'm going to plan on doing is recommend that we don't vote on this tonight. We leave this to the applicant to decide what they're going to do, and we just bring it back to the August meeting, and then we see what happens at that point in time. They may decide there's something different on this current application. They may rescind that current application, make a new application, goes to planning, et cetera. But us voting on it tonight, I don't think
gonna
that's
help.
gonna, yeah, it's not gonna help.
So I need the mover and the seconder agree to withdraw your motion. That's really what I need.
There's no motion on the floor, Mr. Mayor.
No motion on the floor?
No motion on
Okay,
the floor.
so, when I know Councillor Quinte, we did the minutes, save and accept.
That was moved, so that passed, that carried.
Okay, so that's, okay, all right, I got you, okay. All right.
Councillor McHugh has a question.
I just, and maybe I heard Councillor Stedall, didn't hear exactly what you said, but he cannot come back with an amendment to the application that is presently with the city. He either rescinds this or potentially dies at the next council meeting. Really his only path forward from here is a new application. That's the only way this can be kept alive right now. Unless the vote goes in his favor in the 18th. Right, as long as I understand that. Okay.
Well, we don't even have to vote. We're done.
Well, we have to vote, no, we don't have to vote on that, but I'm just saying, if the 18th, if it gets turned down.
Yes.
So- But he can't come back
18th,
the
yes.
18th and talk to us and have all these new things he wants to
Right.
change. It would have to be in a new application.
Okay. All right, then let's keep going, then, the next is the resolution, by, Director Grimman, Community Services Strategic Partnerships, and Samantha Reed, Special Project Coordinator, regarding Community Fund Grant Policy Update be received, and further, that council approve the updated Community Fund Grant Policy attached as Appendix 2. Mover and a seconder for this one. Councilor Boyce, Councilor Elliott. Any comments? Comments? Councilor Stedall?
Thank you, Your Worship. Just a question here. So the owner of the policy is actually the Director of Finance, but the report's coming from the Director of Community Services? I'm just wondering, I know it's funny because it's money, so it should be under finance, but there was full consultation and no issues at all with the finance.
Yes, Your Worship. There's this overlap, of course, with community groups, community partnerships, and finance. But yes, community partnerships took the lead on this, and finance was consulted.
Director Grimman, any further comments, or you're good there?
Thank you, through Mr. Mayor, to yourself and members of council. Yes, I see this more as a tweak or as a bit of a housekeeping exercise. We weren't through a policy update too long ago, but certainly working closely with the finance team to kind of transition as the lead role in this process. There were some things that we worked through in terms of the most recent intake of the program for the 2025 year, and really wanted to set applications up for success and certainly set staff and council up for success in terms of receiving applications, not wasting anybody's time, and making sure that applications that come forward are meeting eligibility criteria, and we're not putting people through an onerous process with some details that might not be clear. So we also took a scan of some other policies, made sure that there was no duplication in place with some other grant programs that the city offers, and I think we've really cleaned up some of those items in terms of the eligibility, and a lot of that will be present when we revise the application and really kind of announce and present the next intake for the 2026 season.
Okay. Any other comments or questions? Councillor Sharp, go ahead.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor, and I appreciate the consolidation and the work, and certainly makes a great deal of sense that it's under Strategic Partnership Committee or your department, Director Grimman. My question relates to, and I apologize if I missed this before, but it looks like for-profit groups are now added to the grants. I didn't catch that before, if it had been there. And I think when I read it, something about, well, they have to align with a not-for-profit. Maybe Director Grimman, if you could give me some insight as to why that's changing, or when it changed, or what the intent is of for-profit now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else?
Thank you, through you, Mr. Mayor, to Councillor Sharp. I'll just address the question. Yes, that is something that we have added. We've certainly seen, a bit of an increase or an uptake in some for-profit groups in the community wanting to explore public-private partnerships or partnerships in conjunction with not-for-profits in the community to do great things and to offer new programs and service opportunities to residents of Quinte West. So the revised policy guidelines do outline that for-profits would be eligible under certain conditions. So under conditions that they would potentially be partnering with other not-for-profits or organizations, and that the programs and services that they might be offering would be at either no or low cost. So there are some parameters that they would still have to meet that are outside of some of the other groups that were already included in the previous policy.
Okay, thank you. Anything else?
Thank
all in
you.
favor? Sorry.
One quick question, Your Worship. Within it, it says the responsibility and authorities that the mayor shall be responsible for developing the community fund grant budget, but that is in alignment with, this is 6.1.1. That's in alignment with the strong mayor powers. Is that really what it's talking about? Because it says the mayor and council is responsible for allocation, but the mayor is responsible for development of the budget. But I believe that's written because of strong mayor powers. Is that?
That's only a statement.
Okay,
I know what's
if
coming.
anybody's, questioning that, it's to do with this whole
I know
new
the strong mayor
legislation.
is
Okay.
for a drunken sailor. I shouldn't say that. Sailors aren't like that, but it's just ridiculous what's coming out of this, my opinion. Anyway, we'll do a budget and we'll do everything as cautiously as we always do and respecting the taxpayers and the funds that they have and how difficult it is at this time. So, thank you. Okay. Do I need a vote on that? All in favor, I guess, of where we're at. Okay, thank you. Carried. Good. All right, I'm now at right. Linda Lyle, Manager of Economic Development and Tourism regarding Commercial and Tourism Community Improvement Plan application approval be received, and the council approve the allocation of $25,000 to 1009038 Ontario Incorporated and $20,860.10 to J&B Books under the Commercial and Tourism Community Improvement Plan. Moved by Councillor McHugh, seconded by somebody? Councillor Katsovas? Okay, comments or questions? All in favor? Wow, that's good. Glad to hear that one. That's good. Okay. Public Works, Matt Tracy. Staff report by Matt Tracy, Manager of Water and Wastewater Services regarding sewer use by bylaw be received, and that draft sewer use bylaw be placed on the August 13th, 25 council meeting agenda for council's consideration, and that staff be directed to forward an application to the Ministry of the Attorney General for approval of the set fine schedule. Okay. Moved by Councillor McHugh, seconded by? Councillor Reid. Okay. Thank you. Questions or comments? Councillor Quinte.
I think the fines are a little light, but I'll still support it.
Thank you. Okay. Anyone else?
I think Matt wants to speak.
Matt, go ahead. Thank you, Mr. Tracy.
Through your worship, no, I was just open for any
You're good?
questions, but yeah, the intent of this bylaw, we've reviewed it as noted. It's very similar to those in many other communities. And the fines and the costing for the sewer surcharges are to handle cost recovery and that type of thing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Anyone else? Anything? All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Okay, then we're under proclamations. Resolution, council proclaim August 27th, 2025.
Sorry, before we go there, Mr. Mayor, can I just ask a question?
Yep.
Sorry. Did we actually vote on the capital projects report? I remember there was conversations about some of the capital projects updates, and then we got talking about the policing, and I don't think we actually voted, because I had a couple more questions on the capital projects. So if just, can we go back to that?
Yeah, certainly the discretion of the chair, we can revisit it, yeah.
Okay.
So
All right. Yeah, we'll go back. We'll take time. Go ahead.
Just two quick questions that I had. So one was to do with the Wooler Bridge project, 2516, and that was to do with we're waiting for consultation with CN, and that is to move the project forward. And I'm wondering if there's any kind of timeline on how long we'll be waiting for CN to get back to us on that?
I don't know. Matt?
Through your worship, I'm not up to speed on that at this point. Mr. Jackson's just stepped out of the room, so we can.
Okay, that's right next to
we'll get a response for you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. And the second one is to do with the review of so I see there's one of the vehicles hasn't been purchased yet, and the note in there is it's a review of the fleet study. And I'm wondering if there is a full fleet study going on, and if that's going to be something that's going to be coming forward maybe with the 2026 budget.
I
And
think
again,
CAO Angela was working on that. That's all.
Through your worship, no, the vehicle is on hold currently. We're working with finance, looking at utilization of vehicles prior to proceeding with any purchasing. Thank you.
okay, thank you.
Mr. Jackson's back. We have a question with respect to the bridge at Murray Centennial over the railroad tracks. Where are we at with respect to that project?
My apologies, Mr. Mayor. I didn't realize I would have been asked. So That's a great question. Currently, we have approval from CP Rail. Let me take a step back. To make this bridge happen, we need to coordinate with CP Rail and CN Rail because we bridge both of their tracks.
Yes.
So CP Rail has been very straightforward, and we have an agreement. It's with our legal team right now for review for CP Rail. And once that's reviewed by legal and then signed by yourself, they will be squared away. However, we have a verbal kind of acknowledgement from CN Rail. However, we don't have like a written approval. We don't have the agreement. So staff are still working with CN Rail to resolve their challenges and to progress this.
I'm not surprised. CN's always been difficult to deal with. When we did the overhead bridge on number 2 highway, same circumstance, same, anyways. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead, Councillor Stedall.
Thank you, Worship. Yeah, my question was just on timelines. Is there any possibility of knowing when those might get done? Because I think the longer the project gets delayed, the more the project's going to cost us.
That's right.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, to Councillor Stedall, you're absolutely right. We do have some legal recourses if we can't get this to move. Namely, that would be the Transportation Board, and I know myself and Director Angelo or CAO Angelo have discussed that. I don't know if we're ready to pursue that yet, but that would be our next recourse if we can't get a more timely response from CN.
It's there. I can't understand them. It's the same when we did the overhead bridge. CN was very difficult to deal with right up front. And I don't know, well, Dr. Galt was the MP at the time, and the money from CN went to Northumberland County. And that's where it went. And we had to go begging on our knees to Northumberland County to get the money. And we never did get exactly what was allocated to us. I think we got $100,000 less than what the government had allocated to us. That's so our experience with CN has not been what you'd say a prosperous activity, unfortunately. And I can't figure it out because a bridge is a bridge is a bridge is a bridge. And when we did the overhead on number 2, we had to raise it, I think, a meter. That bridge had to be higher by 1 meter. For who, for what, I have no idea to this day, because are you going to demand that all the other bridges be raised a meter? Good luck. Anyway, those are just history. Forget things I should. Go ahead. Yeah, all in favor? Thank you. Carried. Okay. Pardon?
Printed and non-printed.
I'm at proclamations, aren't I?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, right above it, yeah.
Have we got a mover and a seconder for the council claim, proclaim August 27th? Councillor McHugh moves, seconded by Councillor Reed. All in favor? Carried, thank you. Okay, printed correspondence for our council, need a mover and a seconder. Move, Councillor Elliott moves, seconded by, need a seconder? Councillor Card, thank you. Any comments or questions? All in favor? Thank you. Carried. Then we got miraculous non-printed, that's a good one. Well, in this case, we've got the Committee of Adjustment applications for consent and minor variance, so need move in a seconder for that non-printed information. Moved by
I'll move it.
Councillor Elliott, seconded by Councillor somebody. Councillor Card. Any comments or questions? All in favor? Thank you. Okay. Any notice of motion? I missed anything? No? Okay. None? Anything under new business? Any other new business? Okay. Declare that closed, and I need bylaws be read first and second time. I need a move and a seconder for bylaws. Counselor McHugh, Counselor Armstrong. Any comments or questions? Comments or questions? All in favor? Carried, thank you. And that's it, isn't it? I got
Proclamation bylaw.
proclamation, okay. And a
Stuck together.
Eh?
You got your pages stuck together there.
Oh, have I? Oh, dear. That was intentional, so I could get done quicker. Okay. Bylaws be read, I need a mover and a seconder for bylaws be read first, second, and third time.
Did those, Mr. Mayor. Just that confirmation.
Just confirmation bylaw.
Okay, confirmation bylaw, that's all I need. Okay, need two for that. Counselor Boyce, Counselor Sharp, and Reed. Just pick one of them, it's okay. Thank you. Okay, thank you very much, ladies. We're a half hour longer than I anticipated, but thank you very much. Pick two for adjournment. And if they want to stay, that's fine. But I'm glad to be, oh, I know what I want to mention before you leave. There was be very careful out there. It is extremely dry. There was a fire yesterday or Monday. Reynolds Farms lost a big combine and several acres of wheat, so be very cautious, please. Thank you very much.
Thank you.